Welcome to another episode of They Don't Want It. It's a day of mixed emotions. We've got Aaron Macey over in the corner there behind the mic. And we've got our birthday boy here, Darcy Luss.
Yep.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday,
mate.
mate. Looking very brown on this wet day.
It's been quite sunny over there in Manly. It's always sunny in Manly, but
God's country.
God's country, yeah.
How old, Dust?
35.
What are you doing for your birthday, mate?
I'm going out with my lovely girlfriend tonight for a nice dinner at the Crown.
She must be here.
And she's over there, so we've got to be careful what we say today. But
Hey, we got Urban Surf next week. There's a spot open there for you if you want to jump in.
Yeah, I'm in.
Done.
Sweet.
Yeah, when I say mixed emotions, bit of a sombre day for New South Welshmen. Obviously, the game last night, that Roman Colosseum, tribal, primal, bloodthirsty game that we all look forward to each year was cut short with obviously Suaalii getting sent off. Tough one. Bit of a mixed emotion around whether he should have been sin binned or sent off. Now, if you break down the play, obviously Reece Walsh is sweeping around the back. Very dangerous player, electric. You can't give him half a metre. Suaalii's come flying in. What could he have done differently in that situation?
See, it's a tough one because he's running at full speed. Reece is running at full speed, and he slips the last second. You don't have time to adjust. But I loved Suaalii's intent.
Yes.
Even the start of the game for the whole of New South Wales, their intent. Suaalii, he's known as being sort of that tough player, mate. I loved his intent, but he just got it wrong. But the thing is, it wasn't. He didn't have intent to hurt him or to.
I think the intent to hurt was there.
Well, yeah, sorry, the intent to hurt, not illegally, yeah. But I loved it, but he just got it wrong.
You got to get it right.
Yeah, you got to get it right.
And I mean, when you're coming in that quick, the defender does have a duty of care, and he did have to steady his feet slightly. But what I just said earlier, with someone like Reece Walsh sweeping out the back, you get it wrong, and it makes you look like an idiot.
Yeah.
Now, watching it live, I thought, hang on, maybe he's hit him sort of in the chest and the whiplash has made it look bad. I think he's only just clipped him on the chin, and the whiplash did make it look a lot worse. Sin bin or send off?
Look, I think in an NRL game it's a send off.
Yep.
But as soon as they send him off, New South Wales lost the game.
Yep.
They were never going to win that, especially at that level. You can't play with 12 men and win a game. They stuck in there for a while, but they just ran out of gas there at the end. If it happens towards the end of the game, they send him off. We're not really talking about it, are we? We're sort of copping it. But look, it's the biggest spectacle in league, the Origin match, and it got ruined because he got sent off.
There was just that sense of everyone just became deflated.
Yeah.
It was like, what's going to happen now? Queensland are going to win by 60.
Yeah.
Now, Ashley Klein, to make that decision, it was pretty ballsy.
Yeah,
to be able to send him off on the biggest stage. What do you reckon the power brokers were thinking?
Oh, yeah, they would have been having a heart attack. But it's it ruined the game. But in saying that, you can't – with Ashley Klein, I think he did what – it's not having a crack at Ashley Klein. I think he did what he needed to do. At the end of the day, he hit him high, nearly killed Reece Walsh. Yep. But yeah, it just ruined the game because as soon as that happened, New South Wales were never winning. Yeah.
Look, it's a 50-50 again. Yeah. If he doesn't send him off, then that's the talking point, right? Yeah. Everyone's blowing up. Where's the consistency? Yeah. So it's ballsy from Ashley Klein to make that decision. Sending him off. In a game that big and a spectacle that big, what can we do differently for it to not happen again? Let's give some hypotheticals.
You came up with a good one before. What was your option?
Just a hypothetical, right? for a game that big, with all the eyes on that game, 80,000 people have travelled out to Homebush to watch this game. They want to see 13 on 13.
Yeah.
Obviously, one thing, right? So he passed the HIA. It was a grade 1, was it, Les? So you can talk, mate. Yeah. So it was a grade 1, so he automatically can't come back into the game. But he passed the HIA. So then you start to think, well, what's the credibility of these HIAs?
That's exactly what I was about to say, yeah.
You know, like if he's still part, and yes, there was a duty of care from the doctors, look, you can't go back on. But I've done HIA tests, and if you're not the smartest cookie, like, they're pretty hard to bloody pass.
That's why my brother's never passed one, but he couldn't pass one if he was fresh.
Mate, I don't want to stereotype, but our man Penny Terapo wouldn't have never passed one. You know what I mean? They're not easy to pass, but it just makes you wonder what, are they there just to say that they've got protocol in place, right?
Why bother doing it when they know it's a Category 1?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, he's not going back out wave and do it, but I guess it's just the process. And the thing is now, obviously with all the threats of the lawsuits and stuff like that, you just can't go near there. Like the NRL are just petrified of it.
Yeah. I heard James Graham talking about it on the buy round, and if anyone can talk about head injuries, it's Booper, and there has to be an element of honesty from a player. But if you're playing Origin, and you can pass the test, and it's not the Category 1, you're going to go back out.
Like if it was up to Reece Walsh, I'm sure he would have been straight back out.
100%. So my suggestion would be maybe, all right, they got the 18th man activated. We get Suaalii gets sent off. We have 12 players for 10 minutes, but we get to use another man to come back on. So it's still 13 on 13, and Queensland potentially get another 2 interchanges up their sleeve. Something like that.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that?
That is just, I agree, but then at the same time, it's like, well, what advantage would Queensland be getting? They've lost probably their best player.
Well, then you bring Hammer on.
Yeah, true, yeah. But
they're
just lucky that they got such good depth, you know what I mean? Like they're what a masterstroke now, it turns out, having Cobbo on the bench.
Well, it wasn't really a masterstroke. I mean, I think it was a pretty straightforward selection, given that Billy came out and said 4 of their last 6 Origins, they've had a back go down.
Yeah.
And I genuinely thought that Birdo would come onto the bench.
Yeah.
I think our rotation wasn't great. We'll get into it in a sec, but I don't think Birdo would have changed the game. But you need a utility.
Yeah.
You need a back on the bench. You have to. And Billy's obviously the genius of picking Cobbo, and then Cobbo comes on and does what he does. Bloody Hammer goes to fullback and has a man of the match performance, between him and DCE. So not having 13 on 13, it definitely was deflating.
Yeah.
It was deflating. You knew the game was over. But having said that as well, there were moments where I thought New South Wales were the better team.
Yeah, 100%.
12 on the field.
Yeah. Well, I thought that when it went down to 12, I thought this could be anything like 50 points or something. But like, to New South Wales' credit, they stuck in there and like they were on top, especially like coming out the second half. They come out firing. Like, it was really only maybe the 65th minute they just ran out of gas, which is like NRL. Sometimes you can maybe get away with 12 players, but 12 players in Origin for 70 minutes with that level of players and that level of intensity, there's no chance. Yeah,
I played a game in 06 when Sonny Bill took out Joey Johns in the 10th minute. So we played 70 minutes with 12 players, and it was horrendous.
Yeah,
and that's NRL level.
Yeah.
We actually nearly won the game. We dropped the ball over the line on the bell, but to do it at Origin level, it's almost impossible. But watching the game live, there was just moments in that first half where they were just going through the front door, just kept straight off Robson, running straight, running with intent. They were making good meters. But to be able to keep up for the whole game, to be able to do that level of intensity, obviously in the 65th minute is when Queensland started to put them away. I thought they were spirited, very brave, like their effort. Like I was really happy with. I was proud to be a New South Welshman. Like I thought they busted their asses. Let's talk about a little bit of the game plan. What did you think of Spencer Leniu?
I thought he was great. I thought he probably lifted the intensity when he come on there.
We spoke about him last week.
The specialist bench player, mate, he come on. To be honest, when he got named, I thought, is he maybe a little bit underdone? Like, had that big suspension. And then is he sort of just But then, you look at what he's done over the last couple of years and, like, mate, I thought he was great. I think he's an automatic selection for next
100%.
Next game.
Every one of his carries was aggressive. He only played 23 minutes, 113 metres, 47 post-contact metres. So he didn't submit in any tackle. Any tackle, he just fought and fought and fought.
I thought he was good,
and that's what you need from your bench.
Yeah.
What about our? One of the things for me was a little bit confusing was our shift players. Would you have tried to go around them when you've got 12 players?
No, and I thought they were making inroads on them, like playing off the front foot off Robson. But yeah, I just think that they just lacked a little bit of direction there at times. With their how many meters they were making, like I think if they had a better kicking game, they could have played a little bit smarter. Going around them wasn't an option, but like it's hard. 12 players, like against
game plans.
It's out the window. It's like survival, isn't it?
Yeah, you're right. I just thought, like you said, inroads. I thought they were doing well through the middle.
Yeah.
Like the game plan should have just went out the window of trying to shift.
Yeah.
Because Queensland were just sliding off.
Yeah.
There was a couple of times then I think Critter tried to tap it over to Tall or Lomax and it went behind them and then, we turned the ball over. The game plan should have just been let's just stick going through the middle and just try and stick with them for the full 80 minutes or the 70 minutes.
It was working for them at the start.
It was.
Yeah.
It was.
And then they sort of went away from it.
And then just get a good kick away.
Yeah.
And when they did get a good kick away, Hines kicked to, well, the first one to Teddy. Teddy scored that good try.
Yep.
The kick to Lomax.
Yep.
Another confusing thing for me from Hines was they had two attacking kicking options and he went for Tall.
Yeah.
And didn't kick to Lomax.
Yeah.
Do you think that might play into his selection for the next game?
In terms of Hines,
being picked?
Yeah. I don't want to. We don't bag out plays
here,
of course but I think that. I think they need to bring Moses in. I think Moses' kicking game is it's one of the best in the NRL. And I feel for Nico as well because he was defending in the centres again. Like he's sort of out of place. He hasn't if he needs an opportunity, 13 on 13, playing in his one position. But the thing is, it's sudden death now. You lose the next game, series is over. So they need to do whatever they can to win. Bring whoever you can in to win this game. And unfortunately, I think Nico will be left out.
I think they're the small moments that you can't get wrong.
Yeah.
When you've got an attacking weapon like Lomax on your right wing who scores a try off one of the kicks, and then you kick the other way, the next two attacking opportunities. To be able to just go through the front door and just stay on that, play off Robson, play through the middle, your best option was your 50-50, put it in the air and see what Lomax could do. I do feel sorry for him. I'd never bag any player, especially at that level playing Origin. Reece Robson, outstanding.
Very good.
50 tackles.
Yep.
Everyone questioned whether Coruscant should come into the side.
Yep.
I think he was built.
Yep.
He's built for Origin.
Yep.
He proved that.
Good. Yep.
Do you think he? It sort of played into Madge's game plan, right? He knew he was just going to pass off the deck, make your tackles. We're going to play tough.
Like I said before, at the start, it was working perfectly. He was getting them on the front foot. They're making meters. I thought they were really on top of Queensland there at the start. But then, it comes back to 12 players. It's impossible.
It's impossible. Yeah. And they decided, and a lot of their tries that sort of at the end, there was a lot of bad one-on-one misses at the end.
Yep.
And yes, it came through fatigue, but when you've got 12 in the field, your commitment into a tackle sort of, you're not as committed because you're thinking about your outside defenders. I need to get off and help as well. So you're not putting your full intent into a tackle. Ben Hunt's bloody 35. He scores a 50 metre bloody try in a wheelchair. How good is he? How good is Ben Hunt?
Mate, he's just like an Origin player. When he plays Origin, he gets better and better.
I know.
It's crazy. And he's nearly 35. You got Cherry 35.
Yep.
Far out. They'll be there for another 5 years.
Man. It's like the Billy, Cam Smith,
Yeah.
Cooper Cronk.
Yeah.
Everything's Thurston.
Yeah.
They just download the game and they play everything in slow motion. They don't try and win in the first 10. They always wait to pull the trigger at the right time. You got something for us, Mace?
Yeah. Do you think that would have been Billy's halftime speech? Because obviously the Blues came out firing, and you and I sitting there with a little bit of glee of hope, like, could this be that one time? It was that Billy's speech just to say, let's relax, let's not lose it in the first 20, let's win it in the last.
Yeah, well, they seem like they just never panicked, you know what I mean? Whereas sometimes New South Wales seem to be panic going for these plays where Cherry would just kick long, and they'll kick, chase, defend, and then when the right opportunity will come, he'd take it. Like you see that 40-20 towards the end.
Yeah.
Well, that was a game breaker. That's what broke him. That's what broke him.
Any 40-20 at any level is just killed.
There's nothing worse when you defend 5 tackles, especially as a middle, and then they kick a 40-20, and then they're sprinting up the field, and you think, "Fuck, I'm not even going to get back for a tackle here."
Yeah.
But
it's hard to review this game because obviously with the 12 players, and but there's one thing I can honestly say is that it was a brave effort.
Yep.
There's going to be some interesting selections for game 2. We'll get into it.
Yep.
Just on Queensland.
Yep.
You lose Reece, you bring in Hammer.
Yeah, crazy, yeah.
Like, just spoilt for choices.
Yep.
Cobbo comes on, just runs an absolute muck.
Yeah.
We spoke big on effort areas last week, and I just want to break down the first try. So this is when it was 13 on 13. They go a short side. I think Cherry Evans hits Nanai.
Yep.
Gets a quick play of the ball. Cherry still stays on the short side. And it's like he automatically knows that the defenders on the open side are going to be lazy.
Yeah.
We only had one marker, and just that small detail. Like, explain effort area again. Like how it sort of Ben Hunt scores that try just by switching off in that one moment.
Because obviously the start of that game was intense. They probably thought that Cherry was going to go short side there, so on the other side of the ruck, they would have been thinking maybe this is my time to have a rest. And like we were talking about in the podcast last week, the good halves, they just know. Like Cherry would have been that excited when he was just about to get that because he knew he was coming back. He wrong-footed Luai, and then there was space there on the end. But that's what. Like I've never played at that level, but like you can't switch off at all.
Not for a second.
Not for a second there. They're good players to find you out.
And someone like DCE is just a genius at it.
He's a freak, isn't he? Yeah.
All right, let's get into some changes. New South Wales, obviously, we spoke about Hines briefly. Yep. He might have had a bit of a calf injury towards the end. Who would be his replacement?
I think Moses. Provided Moses gets through the next 2 games. He come back last week versus Cronulla, was it?
Yeah.
Had a blinder man of the match.
How good was his kicking game?
Yeah, his kicking game was great. That's what they need to match with Queensland, the kicking game. Like Cherry's kicking game is, I know we keep talking about unbelievable. Moses has a great kicking game.
Yeah.
That's what they really miss. So I'll be putting him in. I think Luai gets to stay.
Yep. Yeah.
And then I guess the other big decision will be who comes in at centre for Suaalii.
Who are you picking?
Latrell. I think that, his form hasn't been great, but I think that in those big moments he could stand up. I think he's got a lot of negative stuff written about him, said about him this year. Maybe he comes back with a point to prove. As a New South Wales player, that's what you'd want. Yep. I mean, New South Wales fan, that's what you'd want. You'd hope.
Yeah.
But what do you think?
What do you think of his post last night? You don't want to comment?
Look, I like his confidence.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Whether he rubs some people up the wrong way, I don't know. But he's obviously very confident in his ability, but he just needs to come out and do it.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, he didn't get picked because his form hasn't been great. But I'd back him to come and do a job.
I think the stat here is that he's never lost a series when he's playing in the centres. And as sort of up and down his form's been and the year he's had and the off-field stuff and the suspensions, he puts fear into Queensland. He's their Cobbo. He's their GI. He's their Billy. And when you're desperate, obviously we need to win this one. He would be the pick, but does Madge go against his belief system and his morals and his standards of what he wants in a team? Does he?
He's desperate.
Does he go for desperation or does he stick with his standards?
What's the other options? Birdo,
Katoni Staggs.
Yeah, I think it comes back to what you said. Like Latrell would put the fear into him. Like the other centres, they'll be lining up, going, right, who are we going to line up against today? Burden in a must-win or Latrell in a must-win? You know what I mean? Like, no disrespect to Burden, the great player, but he's not going to put the fear into you.
No.
Latrell with a chip on his shoulder coming in for a must-win. Yeah, I'm picking him. Who does South play this week?
They played Titans.
Okay. Well, good opportunity this week. Like Latrell talks over, come out, put on a performance, and be undeniable. Make him pick you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just put a performance on where everyone said, well, he's ready to go.
He's the best centre in the game that doesn't play centre.
Yeah.
He's powerful, that fend, find the line.
Yeah.
And just that big body out in the centres. I think Latrell, given that post he put up last night, and this is just my opinion, I've got nothing against Latrell. I think he's a freak. It's going to rub people the wrong way, and it was kind of, how do you take that post? Is it like you should have picked me, or like I'm ready? But it's going to be a massive decision for Madge. For us to win, I think Latrell needs to be in the side. Teddy and Edwards.
Yeah, this is.
Given that Edwards is fit.
Yeah, well, I think Teddy did enough. I thought he was good. I thought he tried his heart out.
Yep.
If Edwards is in last night, do you think anything changes?
No. Not with 12 on the field.
Not with 12, no.
No. He made a couple of errors, Teddy, but when you're chasing points and you're desperate, you're going to make errors.
Yeah, like 200 and something metres,
he ran
try.
207 metres and 66 post-contact metres. I don't think he warrants losing his spot.
No.
It was unfortunate for Edwards to get injured. Like, you got to feel so sorry for that guy. Because when they brought Teddy in, I thought, well, that's his series done. They're going to keep Teddy.
Yeah. So two games, club games now to go before they choose the next game 2.
Yep.
So if I know Les was saying he might play this week, but if he doesn't play one game, will that be enough?
Yeah.
It's hard, isn't it?
Look, I'm comfortable. I think that's one of the least of his worries at the moment. Our bench rotation, Olakau'atu played 23 minutes.
Yep.
Hudson Young played 23 minutes. Jakey, 29 minutes.
Yeah.
The captain.
Yeah. And then put him on with 4 minutes to go when the game's over. That's
very confusing.
Yeah. See, I just feel like New South Wales have always seemed to fuck up the
bench rotation.
The bench rotation and everything, whereas Queensland, you're never talking about this with them. You know what I mean? 12 players obviously changes things, but I don't know. I don't understand. How long did Payne Huss play last night?
Payne played 69 minutes.
That's massive.
It's huge.
That is massive with 12 players.
It's huge. Did Robson played 61? No, he played 80, sorry. No, Payne played 53.
53 minutes. Still massive.
Yeah.
Massive, yeah.
And
Liam
impact was huge the whole
Liam
time.
Martin, he was good.
He was outstanding.
He had a real crack last night.
Angus Crichton.
Yeah.
How good
good's he been?
How good would it be to be off contract?
Oh, my God. He could write his own check at the moment. He must just be sitting there just going, How
He's
good is
just
this?
got Uncle Nick.
I
at his
haven't
door.
kicked on in my first year of my contract. My last year.
Uncle
Perfect.
Nick's just at the front door, just knocking.
Yeah.
He's got a Bentley in the driveway.
Yeah.
The
What do you want?
checkbook. Angus, what do you want?
Yeah.
No, just wait, mate.
Just wait, mate. I just want to go kill it at Origin first.
Yeah. Let's see what the Wallabies pay me first.
What about Cameron McInnes?
Cam was solid.
Did he get any stitches last night?
No, he lost 3 teeth.
He found 3 teeth. He grew 3 teeth. He was solid again. And again, it's hard to critique this game. It's really hard. You know?
I've got another thing though as well. Who didn't get picked is really knocking down the door to get picked at the moment with New South Wales. You know what I mean? Like, I can't really think of anyone.
We're just busted with with injury.
Yeah.
I'm happy with this squad. I was confident, and I really like their style of play. Until obvious reasons, but
yeah, I don't think there has to be massive changes. I just think maybe Moses in just purely off the kicking.
Yeah.
Maybe Latrell in.
Latrell or Birdo.
Yeah.
He's got to bring Birdo onto the bench.
Yeah.
Who
would you bring him on the bench for?
Look, I really liked Olakuatu, his first stint. He played with energy, such a big boy.
Yeah.
You know, playing in the middle is at a whole other level.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, you know.
Yeah.
I got to go hide out of my edge when I never breather. But going in the middle...
It's a shock, even just from an edge to the middle. It's a
absolutely.
big shock. And then 12 plays in an Origin game?
Yeah.
Fuck that.
Well, on an edge... Like, I can count numbers. I've got time to count numbers and still be able to help out my middles. Whereas you guys in the middle, it's just turn, go. You know, I heard it's just that saying, head on a swivel. You know, you just got to be there. You got your fullback ghosting in behind, telling you where to go. And when you're down a man, that would have brought, you know, the 4-man last night, having 12 players, you're essentially another middle.
Yeah.
So your job was to push numbers. I thought they scrambled well.
Yep.
But yeah, they just ran out of gas in the end. Just ran out of gas.
Hey, what about our mate Nate Miles?
Miles, you forgot to bring that.
Like
Him and Thurston standing there.
Yeah.
You're a 21-year-old kid on debut. What did he say? Enjoy your debut.
Yeah, good debut or something.
For a good debut.
Yeah.
Nate Miles is an Origin legend.
I know, yeah.
Like, he's one of Queensland's most loved Origin players. I was actually copping it from Thurston all week too, and he, I can't share what he was writing to me. He even texted me after the game, just to rub salt into the wound. But like, I remember when I was 18th man for New South Wales, and like Nate would be out there. He made about 400 tackles. You know, I think Gow punched him in the face about 3 times. And I'm just sitting on the bench watching this game, and he still came off, walked past the New South Wales bench, and was cracking jokes with me.
Yeah.
Like, he's quick-witted.
Yeah.
He's funny. Like, he's hilarious.
He tells you what he thinks as well.
Yeah, but he backs it up.
But he can. Yeah, he can.
He can back it up.
He can say whatever he wants on the side of that field because of what he did. But I don't think it's a big problem. Like, I was reading today in the paper that they're like carrying on about it. I don't think it's a problem at all. It's rugby, you know.
And one thing for Joseph as well, I want him to know, is that you did not let your state.
Nah, and I wouldn't be. He doesn't need to apologise or anything, mate. He was out there having a crack. He just got it wrong.
You got it wrong, mate. You deserve to be there.
Yeah.
Obviously, you probably won't get in there for the rest of this Origin period, and we'll see you back. After your little Wallaby
I just loved
stint.
his intent. Like,
Loved
it,
mate. Half an inch.
Yeah.
Lower.
Half an inch, and you're saying that's
one of the greatest
massive
tackles of all time.
But, you know, 10 years ago, if that happened, mate, there would have been he wouldn't have got sent off, and then it would have been an all-in, and everyone would have been saying, how good's this? I love Origin.
So what are you saying? Bring back the biff? Just a little tackle here and there. Cattle dog. That was the call.
Just allow it once a year.
Just for that game.
Yeah.
Just one punch on.
Yeah.
In the scrum. Imagine playing, like being a New South Welshman and maybe being a little bit older. You look across, you've got the Hammer, you got Reece Walsh, you got DCE. You've got Ben Hunt.
That's what Reece Walsh heard.
That's Reece Walsh hitting the deck last night. Imagine, you know, you're in that New South Wales side, you're looking across that Queensland team. Then you're walking off the bench and you got Nate Miles, Thurston, you got Billy Slater as coach.
Yeah.
Mate, it's just legends everywhere.
Yeah. I'm obviously not a Queensland person, but I actually like that, Billy's a coach and he's surrounding himself with all the legends of that.
Yeah.
That real dominant era.
Yeah.
Now it's, once they finish and then, Cherry Evans has taken over and Ben Hunt has taken over. And, I know they got called the worst Queensland team ever the other year, and then they won. So, you got to start talking about Cherry Evans as like
he's one of
the Queensland great.
Add to the 5. Was there 5 now? You've got GI, Billy, Cronk, Smith, and you got to say DCE.
Yeah, for sure. Like he's taken him out. He's taken him into that new, like the big transition from that dominant team, the dynasty. And then they thought, was probably going to fall off here, mate. He's kept the standard. He's kept him going.
When's he going to retire?
Mate, I was speaking to him the other day, and he goes, I feel great. I said, do you still do all the like training sessions? He goes, yeah, my body feels great. He puts a lot of work in though. Like he's always the first one on the field, last one off. But
what's the secret?
I don't know, but I definitely didn't discover it. But
still looking for it.
Yeah, I'm tipping he's not the last man on the Larienda.
No, he's definitely not.
Stephen Dank's got the secret.
Yes, Stephen. Where Stephen's doing these days? But he's good, mate. And I laugh when they say, you read, he's coming off contract, he's going to have to take a pay cut. Why?
No way.
Why? What? Because he's of his age? No. Look how he's playing. I'd be asking for more if I was him.
And has he had many injuries?
Nah, I think I only remember him really having like maybe a shoulder reco halfway through a year, but
and it's not like he goes missing or hides on the field.
Nah.
He's in everything.
Yeah, he's in everything. He's a competitor, so he's going good. But why would you finish when you're on millions of dollars a year? I'd be dragging that as well. He loves his money as well. He's still got his first dollar. He's still got his first dollar.
Yeah.
So.
He's in Queensland, Paul Gow.
Yeah.
I should have brought that up with Greg Bird too. He's a bit tight with his money. Apparently, though, when you go to the pub, everyone puts their change in a schooner glass. So putting bets on or whatever you do, you put your money in the schooner glass. And Greg Bird tried to take the schooner glass to the bar to do it because it was his shout for a round.
Love that.
I should have brought it up when we did that podcast with him, but the old that's one thing that you never want to be referred to as a tight ass. That pretty much wraps up game 1, I think, Darcy. I think we're under pressure now for game 2.
Yeah. Where is game 2?
Under pressure.
Where is it?
Melbourne.
Early prediction, you two. After what we've seen, and I know it, like you said, you got to throw a lot of it out of the window. We discussed it all day.
Yeah.
Do you think we can win? Who do you have favourite to win?
Well, obviously we're the underdogs now, but I fully back this team.
Yeah.
I fully back. I saw glimpses of a winning team and a different culture last night.
Yep.
There were just patches of that game where they were that brave and they were going through the front door.
Yeah.
They had Queensland falling off tackles, not getting to marker. But given what the changes may or may not be, I'm still confident we can get game 2.
Sure.
Game 3 is the one we've got to worry about. Suncorp, but
up there.
You know what? It just sets up that even sweeter moment to hold up a shield at Suncorp Stadium if we get to game 3.
What are your thoughts, Darcy?
Yeah, I honestly think after what I seen last night, New South Wales can come and win next game. I hope they do as well because you don't want to see a dead rubber.
No, definitely. We had a dead rubber last year.
Yeah, I think they can.
And Madge is the right decision?
Madge is the right decision. I'll tell you what, V'landys will be sacking Ashley Klein if it goes to a dead rubber, for sure. Ashley Klein will not have a job if it goes to a dead rubber. All right, Mace, round 14, let's go through the preview.
All right, so we kick off on Friday night. We have the St George Dragons at $1.39 against the West Tigers, $3.04 at Wynn Stadium. Looks like all the Dragons players are going to be backing up.
Dragons.
Dragons.
Yeah, they were pretty impressive last week, weren't they?
Although, Benji could have the Tigers refreshed after his Fiji trip. But do you reckon it's unfair him getting hammered for that, for going to Fiji?
Fuck, it's not. Look, it's not a good look.
No.
It's not a good look, especially when your team's struggling. But, I mean, the rest of your team's gone away, so why can't you go away?
Yeah, exactly.
Do you reckon he'll come back with a 10 like yours?
Did you go to any Bali trips in Para? I just want to know. When we lost 12 in a row?
Actually, this is another little quick story. So Mum was talking to Steve Kearney after a game, and she was saying to the coach, Ren's a bit upset. One of his best mates is getting married in Bali this weekend. And he was like, oh, yeah, well, whatever. Anyway, I spear tackled GI that week. It wasn't on purpose. He calls me to the office, and he's like, hey, yeah, Ren, you've got a grade 1, mate. And I said, what for? He goes, mate, that spears tackle you did on GI. And I said, he goes, they're going to give you a week. And I said, yeah. He goes, do you want to go to your mate's wedding? And I said, I couldn't run out of his office quick enough. I jumped. This is the thing. Went straight to the air. I went home, packed a small bag, went straight to the airport, flew over Paris Stadium. I could see the boys still training on my way to Bali. Went there, partied for 3 days. I've actually done it twice, 3 days, and then came home and, felt like shit for the next 2 weeks.
Poor Gio got speared because you wanted to go to Bali.
The conspiracy is that I did it on purpose, but I got to go to my best mate's wedding, and I've actually did it at the Dogs. Steve Folks let me go on a buy round, and I came back with my arms tattooed. I was with Daniel Holdsworth. He tore his quad at training when we got back. He was that dehydrated, and we got beat by Canberra 50-0. And they were coming last or something like that. So, yeah, I've had a couple of trips away during the buy, mate. There's no reason why.
Benji, you're all right, mate.
You're all right.
So you're a big supporter of Benji's holiday?
Oh, of course. Just drinking kava and just eating taro and Bulla Vanaka.
All right, moving along to the next game. We have the Titans, $1.80, taking on South Sydney. Can they put 2 in a row?
Where's this game?
This is at Seabus Super Gold Coast.
I'm going to go South.
Yeah.
I think South's going to win. Latrell needs to have a big game. Origin selection. He looked good in the line last game, playing at 6.
Yep.
Correct, Big Lez? He was playing at 6. So, yeah, I like him in the front line. Joe Gray at fullback.
Yep.
South to win.
Yeah, me too. Gold Coast have been going good. I'm starting to play like a real Des team, aren't they?
Yeah.
Playing tough.
Yeah, it won't be easy.
Nah, but South for me.
That's for you. All right. We move along to the Cowboys who knocked off the Roosters. So $1.67 against your Wars, $2.21, and that's Cowboy Stadium.
Huge win last week to beat the Roosters with all those players out. They'll take a lot of confidence. And then you get all those Origin players back. Yeah, they might be sore, but they played against 12 players, so they'll be fresh. Cowboys to win.
Wars for me.
Was for you?
Yeah.
And is your brother back playing?
I think he's named in the squad, yeah. So I think, yeah.
Excellent.
Fucking do something, Fred.
We move along to the Broncos, $1.62 at home against the Sharks, $2.31. Sharks starting to show a little bit of a slump. Can they bounce back here?
With Nico potentially having another calf strain, I think Brisbane up there. You know, Ezra Mam, class, Suncorp. I can't back against the Bronx at home.
Yep, Bronx for me.
Yeah, Nico's definitely out. We've then got the Storm, very short, at home, $1.21 against the Knights, $4.45.
Yeah, we don't need to break down that one. I think Storm will be too strong. Who did Newcastle play last week? Dogs. Yeah, 34-2. They were they were the favourites in that game as well,
Reagan,
especially with Villiamy out. Burton, obviously 18th man, you know. To get beat 34-2 after winning 4 or 5 in a row.
Do they play for 12 men as well for a while?
They play with 11 at one stage, the Dogs.
Oh, Dogs of War.
The DAWs. The old DAWs.
They would have brought a tear to your eye watching that.
They've certainly got a feeling about them.
They do.
I definitely had a bit of a chub, for sure.
We now have the Penrith Panthers at home, $1.40. Want to bounce back from last week's loss, $2.96. The Sea Eagles.
It's a good game.
Yeah, this would be a cracker.
It'll be a really good game.
All Origin players expected to back
So
up?
not all. You've got Jerome Luai, I think, will play. I think Yo will play, but I think they'll be resting the rest. I'm hearing Liam Martin won't be playing. Toto won't be playing. That's the rumour mill.
Right. It's hard to pick, isn't it, when you not know who's backing up? But put me down for Manly.
Yeah, especially after DCE's performance on a high. Depends how drunk he got last. Is he a drinker?
I think he enjoys one or two.
Yeah. Well, if you had
I would have deleted a few Forexes last night after that.
Yes.
I'd probably still be drinking.
Yeah. Well, I deleted a few for New South Wales last night. I'm going to get Manly.
All right, and then we've got the Battle of the West. We've got the Bulldogs, $2.12 up against the Eels at $1.73.
Yeah, it's a great game. Good rivalry. Great rivalry. Obviously, Mitch Moses playing for that halfback spot. Huge game for him. I never back against my Dogs. It's going to be a close one. I think it won't be a high scoring game. Kickhouse still out. Addo Carr's gone for 10 weeks with a hammy.
That's a massive loss.
That's
Big loss.
I've got
But
one
Wilson
question
comes
for you
in.
on Moses. Could he be one of the biggest ins and outs for any team? Like, does he have probably one of the biggest impacts on any team?
On that team for sure.
Definitely.
They're lost without him.
Yeah.
They are absolutely lost without him.
Yeah.
Like, he should be going in there and saying he wants a raise.
Captain coach?
They're looking for a coach, aren't they?
I'll put my hand up. No, I'm going to go the Dogs, but in a tight one.
Para for me.
All right, excellent. Let's move along for your bet of the round.
Get on the BTFU hub and ride with Reni. We got Broncos to win by 10 plus and Ezra Mann to score a try in the first 60 minutes for $5.
My ride with Darcy this week is for every team to score 10 points or more, and that is paying $2.50.
What are you prepared to lose today? Set a deposit limit. For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.